Hi folks, hard to believe that camping season is right around the corner, especially with all the snow we've been having. However, I've been in the market for another cooler. I always find myself running out of space, especially when camping, so I wanted to purchase another one the other day and I got one off Amazon. It is the Raylio 20 quart cooler. I wanted to do a quick ice challenge because this cooler only cost me $100 compared to my $200 Yeti and my $200 Pelican. Now, they don't make this style of Pelican anymore, and I've been really happy with this cooler. I actually probably would have bought another one had they still made it. A buddy of mine who I camp with bought the newer style, the taller Pelicans, and he's had some seal issues with his. The gasket keeps falling out, and they've replaced it, I think, once, and he's still having some issues. So until they get that figured out, I will probably just stay away from Pelican. Now, all these coolers have some features on them that the others don't. So I love this Pelican, back to it. It's got cup holders and it's got a bottle opener. I love the latching system on this cooler too. The big downside of this cooler though is that it does not have a drain plug, which drives me nuts. When I'm camping, if there's a ton of water in it, what I have to do is pull out all my stuff, dump it, and then throw everything back in. The Yeti. Now, this is also a cooler I've had pretty good luck with. It has good ice retention. It does have a drain plug. It does not have any cup holders, and it does not have a measurement on top like the Raylio does. So I really don't like that this does not have cup holders on it. And I know it seems like a trivial thing, but when you're on a boat fishing in rough water and you want to set down your beverage, it is nice to be able to reach and have it there secured. Now, the Raylio. This does have a bottle opener. It has cup holders, and it has a little fish measuring thing, which is only 16 inches, but I suppose it's better than nothing. The main advantage of this, again, is this cooler is half the price of the Yeti and the Pelican. So with that being said, I'm going to be loading up all three coolers and doing an ice challenge to see if the $100 cooler can hold up to the $200 coolers. Okay, so all the ice has been measured out equally in each cooler. It doesn't exactly look the same. That's just because the interior dimensions are a little bit different on each. In each cooler, I put one 16-ounce beer. The coolers have been pre-chilled for about 6 hours on my porch where I'll be doing this test. It's about 68 degrees is what we keep it. The tile is heated at about 75 degrees. Now each of these coolers sit off the ground a little bit with their rubberized feet. So what we will do at this point is shut them up and check back in 24 hours and see how the ice is. Hi folks, it has now been 24 hours since I originally loaded these coolers up with ice and one beer. So we are day 2 of the ice challenge. I plan on opening them all up right now and we can take a look. Okay, there seems to have been some melting going on, not very much. All right, so 24 hours after, day 2, the ice cubes have melted a little bit, more into a block than anything. I'm gonna kind of move these around a little. Get back in there. Okay, so I've shifted the beers around a little bit, had them open. We'll see what happens in another 24 hours here. Right now, ice retention looks pretty good. Really, they haven't melted much at all. There's no water in the bottom of any of these coolers, which is a good sign. I've got high hopes. Hopefully get a couple more days out of them, and we will check back tomorrow. Hi folks, we are on day 2 of the ice challenge between the Raylio, Yeti, and Pelican coolers. It is about 4 o'clock p.m. I got stuck in a meeting. I was not able to do this right at noon, so we're about 52 hours into the challenge. As you can see, water is starting to build up in all of them. Things are melting, not too bad. Mostly ice still. Beer's ice cold. Fantastic. And the Yeti, about the same. A little bit of water in the bottom. Not too bad. And the Pelican. The Pelican, actually, the ice cubes in it seemed to kind of all clump together and chunk up as it was sitting in there. So, same thing. A little bit of water in the bottom of it. Not too bad. So, tomorrow we will check again, and tomorrow we'll do it at the 72-hour mark and see how things are looking. All right, we are 74 hours into the ice challenge between the Raylio, Yeti, and Pelican coolers. So right now we are sitting at about, I'd say 50% ice, 50% water in the Raylio. Same in the Yeti, and about the same in the Pelican. So tomorrow will be day 4 when we check, and we'll see if there's anything left. I expect there's still to be some ice in there. We will check back later. Thanks. Okay, we are 96 hours in, and there is still a good amount of ice in the Raylio. Now, it's sinking in there, but you could rest assured your beverages would be cold in that. The Yeti, well, it doesn't seem to have as much ice. There is a huge block of ice in there, right here. So that is still holding. And then the Pelican, there are some larger chunks of ice. Yep, there's a few big ones in there. This one seems to have the most water so far, which is fine. Again, we're day 4 into this, so tomorrow we will see what is left in these. All right, we are in day 5 of the ice challenge, and of course it is still snowing here, so I'm probably quite a ways off from actually using the coolers this summer. Day 5, we've got the Raylio still actually has a decent amount of ice in it. I would say it's about 90% water, 10% ice. The Yeti has 1 piece of ice in it. And the Pelican, surprisingly enough, has no ice in it, which I'm actually surprised by. It is ice cold though, the beer, so I could pop it right now if it wasn't noon and drink it. I will end up doing a quick synopsis on this and closing statements very shortly. All right, so these are the closing statements for the Raylio, Yeti, and Pelican Cooler Ice Challenge I did. So obviously, if you're gonna go camping, you're not probably gonna open your cooler only once a day. So to think you're probably gonna get 5 days of real ice time out of it is not realistic, especially, when it's in the summer and, 80, 90 degrees out. If you're drinking beer or pop, there's a good chance you'll probably be opening that cooler 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day. Something I wanted to note, when I go camping, I usually don't use too many ice cubes. What I've done is I'll go to like the gas station and I'll end up buying these 34-ounce water bottles, dumping out a little bit, and then loading them in the cooler. I'll load 5 or 6 of these in there, and because it's a larger ice block, I find that I get longer ice retention with the coolers. Overall though, $100 versus $200 versus $200 for coolers. I would take the $100 cooler pretty much, I think, every time. I mean, you think about all the money you could save with beer, boat gas, going out to dinner, whatever. $100 is $100. Pretty happy with how the Raylio performed compared to these 2 other ones. That said, I still do have a soft spot in my heart for Pelican and Yeti. They were my first two coolers I got, and I just think they're cooler. You know, they revolutionized the cooler market as we know it today. Now we're starting to see some imitators come out, like the Raylio, which isn't a bad thing because now people who don't want to spend $200 can now afford same quality style cooler for about half the price. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much.